to do when I came out of school. So someone offered me a job, I said, sure, I'll take it. I'll just do this until I find what my passion is, what my purpose is. As I got older, that passion, that purpose still wasn't showing its face, and I got to a point where I was like, okay, basically you've got a job, just be happy with that, continue to make that money, go to that job and get a house and get a mortgage and do that stuff. House, mortgage, cars, kids, 70 years old, get to 80, died, cool, had a good one, so, and basically, I thought, okay, I'm going to go and buy a house, and I don't know if anyone understands about construction. Construction is pretty, I mean, especially with bricklayers, you're not on wages, so I mean, you're not really dictating what your earning capacity is. You've got things like the weather, you've got things like dodgy bosses, materials run out, jobs run out, all those sorts of things. So whatever I was making a week really wasn't dependent upon me. So you try telling the banks that you don't need their money when you haven't got a stable income, right? So what I ultimately had to do, and I was raised by a family, by my mother. My mother raised 4 kids as a single mum in a house that she purchased as a working teacher at the time, raising 4 kids. So basically to get the bank to give me a loan to move forward in the manner that I thought I had to, I had to put my mother's house up against my dad as collateral. So what that did was basically stuck me in a job, working a job that I hated, to continue to maintain a wage to be able to afford to make sure I kept up with those repayments so my mother didn't lose her house. What that did was it stuck me in a job, it left me with no choice, it left me with no ability to travel, and it led me to a point where I had this overwhelming sort of depressive mood at the fact that there was really it was very dim, and my future was very dim. I thought this is basically it. And the weight of having my mother's house on my shoulders, that if I couldn't keep up with it, was really stressful, especially being in a job where you can't dictate what comes in or what goes out. And that really didn't give me a lot of choice. I fell into a point in my life where I felt really hopeless. I just felt hopeless. But the one thing, and I always talk about this, and this is why I talk a lot about, I'm fairly spiritual, I like the woo-woo stuff, and I believe that's wholeheartedly what will cause everyone's success, whether or not you know it, you believe in it or not, that's what causes it. I remember no matter how bad my situation was at that time, I always remember thinking something was going to happen. I was like, something's going to happen. You just keep holding out. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. I keep imagining myself in front of huge amounts of people, doing great things, being known for doing something great. And I didn't know it was this. I didn't know it was this. I knew it was something though. I didn't even know what network marketing was. But because I just had that overwhelming sense that it was definitely going to happen, I just had that solid belief, no matter how bad things got, that was going to happen, it eventually reared itself. And my sister came to me with Isagenix after she jumped on, she started using it, she started loving it. She came to me with it, and I looked at it, and I didn't have a lot of self-respect for myself. I was pretty low. I was attached to a lot of ego. I was attached to a lot of external things that dictated who I thought I was. So for myself, I thought I was quite knowledgeable and quite good at my physical appearance and getting that, feeling good, looking good, and all that kind of thing, because that was the only thing I had left. And to have my sister, who's a PhD student in exercise and health science at the University of West Australia, come and tell a bricklayer, I've got something better for your body, and I told her no. So I had no better. I was caught up in ego, and I told her for 6 months, every single day, no. So I'd come in from work, and she'd be sitting she turned our kitchen room table into a office, so you couldn't even eat in there, because she'd break your neck if you did. So I'd come in, and I'd make my shake, and she'd just give me these dirty looks, and every single day she'd try and get me to look at it, and I just didn't. Eventually she went to an event, came back with a whole different energy, different purpose, different passion, different energy, and I gave her the time. It took her 30 minutes for me to just sit